I am not an investigative journalist. I simply lived there my whole life. And in New York, where he grew up as well, we're around the same age. I'm 63, he's 107. Is that what he is? I'm not sure. But, and so I've known who he was from the get-go.
But a lot of male chat shows.
Before we dive into the full story, comment where you're watching from, and don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. We are about to see former comedian and TV presenter Rosie O'Donnell completely unleash on Donald Trump once again. In this eye-opening clip, she sits down on Irish television to let the people of Ireland know the exact reasons why she fled America to seek refuge, leading to her current life over in Ireland. Their bitter feud goes back nearly 2 decades, but this latest appearance sheds a completely new light on just how personal and intense the fallout has become for her family. As usual, let's watch the video in full to see exactly what she revealed. Stick around, because I am going to give you guys my full breakdown, my commentary, and my thoughts on this situation towards the end of the video. Let's get straight into it.
Morning
To you both. Lovely to have you.
Lovely to see you. We're delighted that you're here and joining us. And we have to ask you, how are you finding Ireland? You're only here since January.
Yes.
How's it going?
It's amazing. It's better than I could have imagined, and I never imagined leaving the United States. I didn't even have an Irish passport, although my siblings do, because I thought, well, I'm never moving out of the United States. I'm kind of like a stay-home mom kind of person. And but then when the election happened, and you know, it was quite obvious what was going to occur as they put out a book that announced it, Project 2025, I knew that it was time for me and my young autistic child to come here.
And let's talk about that a little bit for people who might not know, because the beef between you and Donald Trump go back to the days of when you were a talk show host comedian. He was a personality.
A reality show. He had The Apprentice, which was all fiction.
Yes.
And a lot of people in America didn't know that it was fiction because they sold him as America's biggest successful businessman, and he had been bankrupt 6 times, and he had lots of charges of sexual abuse against him, and he is, you know, known for lying and for corruption. And he had a charity that he and his family now can never do a charity again in New York because they stole money from children who had cancer.
And this is all fact.
All you need to find out these facts is a computer, people. I am not an investigative journalist. I simply lived there my whole life. And in New York, where he grew up as well, we're around the same age. I'm 63, he's 107. Is that what he is? I'm not sure. But, and so I've known who he was from the get-go.
But a lot of male chat show hosts were saying the same things that you were.
Yes.
But it was just you. You just got under his skin.
And he went crazy in a way that I was shocked. And it's almost 20 years since that show.
And he's still, to this very day.
To this day, at the debate, they said to him, you call women pigs, gross, disgusting, fat, ugly. And he said, no, only Rosie O'Donnell. To roarious applause and laughter in the audience. And I was at home with my kids watching it going, how do you explain this? You know, luckily it was they were pretty young at the time, but now my youngest is 12. My other ones are in their 20s.
Yeah.
So it's really to protect my 12-year-old that I knew I had to come.
Because let's talk about that. A lot of people said they would leave should Trump become president and all this kind of stuff. You did leave for reasons of safety. What was happening to you in the streets?
Well, it wasn't so much in the streets, but after he won, I was in CVS with my child, and 2 different people, one with a MAGA hat and one a Trump supporter, came over and told me with curse words that their guy won. And, you know, said the F word in front of my child, who said, why are people cursing at us? And I said, well, remember I told you that there was a guy who was not so nice and he's running for president again? Remember when you were a little baby and he was the president and everything went wrong? She said, yes. I said, well, he's back now. And she said, so it's time for us to go.
And that's what, because you did stay during his first presidency.
I did, and it was a difficult time for me mentally and emotionally.
Because this has obviously taken a toll on you over these years.
You know, it's something to go from being a kind of known celebrity in America that people liked, that had a lot of accolades, that had a lot of, to despised by half the population. half the country thinks that he is the new coming of Christ, and half the country sees what's happening, that fascism has taken hold in America, and it's terrifying, not just for America, but for the world.
And you arrived over going, do you know what, I'm going to move to Ireland. Sure, it'll be grand. I'll sit down, eat some potatoes, have some whatever.
Keogh's crisps are out there.
Put to work straight away by this young man here.
What an absolute takedown by Rosie O'Donnell. She is once again letting the entire world know exactly who Donald Trump is, laying out her perspective on his character right there for the Irish public to see. I also really appreciate the fact that she explicitly brought up Project 2025. Honestly, that is something the mainstream media simply does not speak about enough. They barely scratch the surface of it, and it deserves a lot more attention than it gets. Now, I decided to do a little bit of research into the actual history of what Donald Trump has publicly said about Rosie O'Donnell over the years, and the timeline is wild. Back in July 2014, right after she rejoined The View, Trump publicly called her crude, rude, obnoxious, and dumb. He has repeatedly labeled her a loser and a woman out of control. Then, during a 2016 presidential debate, when confronted about his language, he essentially doubled down. He claimed he said tough things to Rosie and implied she fully deserved it, using roundabout ways to call her a fat, ugly slob, and suggesting her past insults justified his harsh words. He's called her a disaster, a snake oil salesman, criticized her multiple marriages, and mocked her as fat little Rosie. There are endless examples flashing right here on my screen, but you get the point. Let's call a spade a spade. This is straight-up textbook bullying. If any other public figure on planet Earth were to repeatedly and systematically target a single individual like this, they would be heavily reprimanded and universally labeled a bully. But unfortunately, we live in a world today where too many people are absolutely terrified to call him out. They are scared of the immediate aggressive backlash they'll receive from his dedicated MAGA base and the far right. It shows a very hostile side to modern politics, but at this stage, we should never be surprised by it. What do you guys think about Rosie's statements in this ongoing feud? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. While you're down there, hit that subscribe button if you're brand new to the channel, and smash the thumbs up button purely to feed the YouTube algorithm so we can get this video in front of as many people as possible. Drop your comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next breakdown. Cheers.